And I used to have a fear of the dark, like being alone in the dark, right? And then I realized I don't have a fear of being alone in the dark. I have a fear of someone might be watching me while I'm alone in the dark.
That makes more sense.
You know what I mean? Like if you put me in a room and it's dark and I know nobody's in there, I'll be fine. Like if you put me in my room and we turn off the light, I'm like, I'll be fine. But if you put me in a place where I have no idea what it is and it's dark and I can feel like someone's watching me, that's when I freak out.
If you're living in a sketchy place like this, then I get you why you'd be, checking your back.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening and watching to your favorite podcast. This is your favorite podcast, the Maximum Filipino Show. So right now I'm being joined by Waka. We don't have Jed because Jed is a little sick. But that's fine. That's fine. As you notice, nothing is blocking Waka's face, so he's enjoying himself.
Oh yeah. No, I'm enjoying the mic.
And hopefully he won't do things like that anymore. But yeah, so we're doing New Mutants. If you haven't seen New Mutants, we suggest that you stop this podcast. We're not going anywhere. You guys can come back in this podcast and re-listen to it. If you've seen the New Mutants, well, welcome and join us as we talk about this movie. We just watched the movie.
Yes.
Like literally, we just literally
so
watched
it's
it.
like fresh in our minds.
Yeah, fresh in our minds, and it's currently like midnight right now.
I love this.
But anyway, what was I gonna say? I got distracted. But what was I trying to say is, if you haven't seen New Mutants and you don't care about spoilers, then you're welcome to. You're probably not. I don't know. You're probably gonna understand everything that we're gonna talk about. But other than that, if you don't, then enjoy the ride. Like I said, it's the HBO Max original TV show.
Movie.
Original movie. I'm sorry, original movie. So HBO is coming up with a lot of original stuff.
Amazing movies.
Well, I don't want to say original though, because it's like movies. Like we talked about this, like contracts, movie contracts and TV show that they're purchasing. And they're putting in there.
Well, fair enough. I mean, originally it was, like you mentioned some time back, it was Fox, right? Fox had it? Was it Fox?
Yeah. Mutants, which is, it will be X-Men. It's owned by 20th Century Fox, yeah. So before we go there, a lot of movies in HBO Max, because have you had HBO Go? There used to be HBO Go.
I've heard, yes, there was an HBO Go.
I don't think there's any more HBO Go.
I think it just revamped to HBO Max.
I think HBO Go is like it's like whatever TV show and movies they have in the channel, their channel in cable, is what in their app. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
So not necessarily so like in HBO Max, not all the movies in there are in their cable HBO. You know what I mean? I think HBO Go, which makes sense because the name is HBO Go. It's like HBO on the go. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to wait for that movie to show up in cable. It's already in the app.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see what you mean. Like they have for other network programs like Time Warner.
Yeah.
They have that app for themselves. You don't have to watch it at home. They have the TV on your.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the movies that they're playing on cable is the same movies that they have on the the app.
Yeah.
But the HBO Max is more of their subscription. It's like a Netflix kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody's gonna be on board in that now. Nobody else is.
And I guarantee down the road, someone. I mean, I may have already said this lame joke before. Someone who might have a brilliant mind to combine all of these apps from subscriptions, and they're gonna call it
cable.
Pretty much.
See, I don't think that's gonna happen though.
I mean, it already has. There's already cable, but I'm saying that someone's gonna come up with an idea. It's like they're all spread out. Let's try to put them together.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen. Like, look at this. Disney will never do that. Netflix will never do that because they're earning so much money from there. You know what I mean?
Well, someone's gonna come up with an idea that said, "I'm tired of jumping from app to app." And it's like maybe there's an app that combines them all. Like, go to this app, there. I guarantee someone's gonna come up with an idea.
Yeah, but it's not gonna happen
I mean, they already did it with anime.
with Crunchyroll. No, because they
Not
purchased it.
Crunchyroll. No, there's like an app, where they're like partner up with
No,
other.
because they purchased it.
Well, yeah, yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
because they purchased it. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't really think it's gonna happen. It's what's gonna happen is they're not gonna combine it in one. But let's say Hulu went out of business, right?
Mm.
And Netflix bought them. It's not gonna be a combined Netflix and Hulu. It's gonna be separate, like what they did with Disney, ESPN, and Hulu. You know what I mean?
I see. Oh,
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
see
be
what
like
you mean.
that. Yeah.
fair enough.
Because the reason why subscribe app movies existed in the first place, just Netflix, because people are tired of watching commercials.
Yeah,
on
I'm one
TV.
of them.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, people that have cable, and you guys know this, I didn't have it, but if you have DVR, Dish has this, the hopper. You hop all the commercials.
They
Yeah,
had anyone that had a cable box. I mean,
Mhm. the DVR box.
yeah, DVR box, whether
Mhm.
from Time Warner or from AT&T or from
Xfinity, all that.
Yeah, they have that feature, but yeah.
Yeah. They you skip all that commercial. Then Netflix said, "Yeah, we're gonna remove that whole thing and just show you TV shows and movies." You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Well, Netflix started this a rental anyways. They're digital rentals. They're like Blockbuster, but you order it.
Because of that, did that? Well, I guess not. I was just gonna say, did that shut down a lot of?
Blockbusters? Oh yeah, because
Well,
of that.
no, yes, blockbusters. What I mean is,
Movie rentals.
commercial ads, like people.
Oh yeah, because right now, I don't know if you noticed, they're still doing commercial ads on TVs and Super Bowls and things like that, especially Super Bowls, because
Mhm.
Super Bowls is one of the highest rated, movie,
Right.
not movie, but shows on
Yep.
TV. But they're still doing commercials and they're still expensive. But right now, what's not on demand, but what is the big thing is doing commercials on Facebook videos or YouTube videos, because everybody's attention is on that now, not on TV.
Mm,
Like, how many people do you know that watches TV?
probably.
How about
a
this? Let me.
handful. No, a handful.
Okay,
I know
all
what
right,
you
a
mean.
handful. Now let me filter it more. How many people did you know around our age watches TV?
Okay, less than a handful.
Yeah, almost none.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because it's either during YouTube, Facebook, or watching it on Netflix or Hulu. That's about it.
Fair.
Yeah. So nobody really watches TV anymore, especially around our age. You guys can correct us when you watch this video. My assumption was they were still owned by 20th Century Fox, but since 20th Century Fox doesn't have any or didn't have any subscribe apps like Disney Plus, they sold the contract for New Mutants to HBO, and they're supposed to release it like 2 or 3 years ago,
Right.
but they got bought out, and then COVID happened. So
Yeah.
so the contract still stands. So they have to do this TV show or movie. They have to do this movie because a lot of there's another the Jean Grey, the Phoenix movie is in
the
HBO.
Dark Phoenix?
Yeah, it's in HBO. It's not in Disney. But all the X-Men movies,
actually, there's
except for Logan. Logan is not in Disney.
yeah. I've heard that. I think it's because it's outside of Disney's. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, it didn't qualify to be in Disney.
Interesting. Is it
But-
too dark?
I don't know.
Is that why they don't have Deadpool?
Probably. I mean, they have Simpsons up in there,
Right.
so I
Well,
don't know what makes it
I mean,
different.
It's bloody though. Like Logan, you've seen Logan, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's bloody. And Deadpool was bloody. I don't know if there's any other movies in Disney that is bloody. That's rated R.
What? How about those other shows?
Like what?
The ones that we've watched in Disney. I forget.
Oh, you're right. Like Devil All the Time is dark, but then again, like I said,
That's
it's not-
Netflix.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's not dark.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
wouldn't like loud explosions blowing up people? Wouldn't that qualify as dark?
No, it will just be intense, but it's not gore.
Mm.
You know what I
Unless
mean?
you see it, right?
Yeah, unless you see it like WandaVision and Winter Soldier, Falcon and the
I
Winter Soldier is just fine. But if you put Deadpool in that quality, because all those the WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier is still PG-13.
Interesting. The weight or the way how movies are rated.
Mm-hmm.
It really.
Yeah, remember back in the day, PG-13, they can cuss on
Yeah.
PG-13. Now it's just
Yeah.
you can't do it anymore. They're boobs. They show boobs in PG-13 before.
Mm,
Yep.
and I don't know.
Yeah, not anymore.
It's been what's the word? It became subjective, I guess, or has it always been subjective?
It always been subjective. Yeah, I think it is. It is too subjective that it depends on them, and that's the definition of subjective. It depends on them what they're gonna put in there or not, and what quantifies as gore or not. But anyway, so Dark Phoenix is in there, but
That's
this
interesting.
New Mutants is
How
So
about Apocalypse?
oh no, Apocalypse is in Disney,
Wow.
but that one's not gore.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. You know what I think though? The reason why they don't have Dark Phoenix, because the movie sucked. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I heard the movie sucked. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
But I heard the movie sucked. Anyway, okay. So let's talk about their
Their
abilities.
abilities.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the movie first. So the movie was a little drag.
Yeah.
Was a lot drag because
dragged
there's
a lot.
because of a lot of unnecessary scenes.
Mhm.
Like what you said. You said about the attic scene.
No, you brought up the attic scene, but I was trying. Oh, I did
No,
mention it.
you brought up the attic scene, because because you asked me what are the scenes
What are the scenes?
that are necessary, and I said it is the attic scene.
Is it only the attic scene?
No, there are some more. I don't even remember.
Because I know there was the pool. There
Mhm.
was the solitary rooms. You know what? One of the things that bothered me.
Hold on, let me explain the attic scene real quick. So the attic scene, I think, it should have been. It's either they should have removed that. The whole movie still could have made sense if they removed that scene because nothing beneficial came out of that scene, or they could have just shortened it. Because the whole movie is basically just them. If you watch the movie, or if you didn't watch the movie, but
Right.
in the movie, it's just them figuring out Danny's ability and revealing to them her ability, because that's how the movie ended. It's just, oh, this is her ability. Now we gotta defeat this enemy that she created, and then that's it. The movie's over. Nothing else. Or I guess they figure out what's the whole purpose of the whole place. But what were you saying?
Like I'm trying to think of other scenes in the movie, but let me try to throw them in. Like there's a pool. There was what I was trying to say earlier that bothered me a lot. She says it so many times, but it made it seem like they were gonna do something about it. Is when she tells them, "Don't move. Go back to your room."
Right, all the time, constantly.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's not gonna happen.
well, yeah. It's just that it bugged me where I felt like that's an extra line. I mean, I guess I don't know. This is me playing the movie in my head, but if we're just focusing on the existing scenes rather than how this guy hates me trying to find logic in why she's doing it, I thought that was just bothering me. Like it was not necessary. I mean, like she's running to find out what's happening, but she's telling them, "Don't move, stay in your room."
Right.
But
Yeah.
because normally when someone says that, wouldn't they pan it to them for whatever they were planning on doing or whatever doing?
Or just not say it. Or just, I think it's in the script. I don't think that was an ad lib. I don't think she came out of that out of nowhere.
Then again, that's just me. I thought that wasn't necessary to do or say. I'm trying to think of other scenes that may have been extra. Let's see.
So the romantic scene is necessary. I think I don't mind it. Not necessarily necessary, but I don't mind it if there's anything like that, because most of hero movies have romance except for Logan. I mean, even Deadpool has romance.
Yeah.
Both Deadpools.
Mm.
Both Deadpools.
Both movies, right?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
both Deadpools has romance
In the one movie, he was
with
I mean,
his.
he
Yeah.
reunited with his girl, and then the
Mhm.
next one, it was in the very beginning, where he died, or
Oh,
no,
that's
she
right.
died.
That's right. So there's romance in there, and then I think the um, Days of the Future Past. Most of X-Men doesn't have romance. I don't want to say it was most.
No, because
Some,
uh,
because Days of Future Past doesn't have romance.
there was slight, but then okay, so in Future Past,
Oh, is it with crap? What is Jennifer Lawrence character?
Jane,
Mystique.
Mystique,
Yeah, Mystique, because she kind of liked either Xavier or
Xavier's friend Magneto.
Magneto. Yeah.
I mean, there was also the already existing hidden love or secret love between Wolverine and Jane when Wolverine finally woke up and saw Jane.
Okay.
You know how he woke up going into Professor X's room and trying to ask him
Yeah.
what happened
Yeah.
because he was surprised he was a history teacher.
Right. Because I was just gonna say I don't think he saw Jean Grey and
No,
Days of
Jean was
Future
at the
Past.
door. Jean was at
No,
the
no,
door.
no, no. I'm talking about when he went to
Oh,
the alternate.
It was
past.
towards the end. That's
Yeah.
where that pre-existing,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But yeah, Mystique's relationship
Yeah.
was there.
So and then other than that, like Logan didn't have any. Wolverine did, the movie Wolverine
Yeah, with that
in
Japanese
Japan.
chick.
Yeah, in Japan. So yeah, so like I was saying, I didn't really care about the romance behind behind Danny and Rain. I didn't mind that. I don't care. That's fine. They can have that. But a lot of them, and I mentioned this earlier. The acting is horrible. It's
Do
so
you-
cringe.
Her okay, going back to Magic or Anya
Joy Taylor. Yeah, Joy Taylor.
Okay, do you think she was pushing it as a bully?
I think so. I think she was pushing it. Although in Queen's Gambit, if she acted the way she did in this movie, she
In
was
Queen's Gambit?
she was a great bully in Queen's Gambit in her own way.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did enjoy her personality there.
Yeah.
Her character, but
Mhm.
here, I don't know. I
But
felt like
because in Anya, the Anya Joy Taylor in Queen's Gambit, it's more introvert. It's more like, oh, I'm in my own world kind of
Right.
thing. And this one is more extrovert. It's like, yeah, I'm a snob. I'm a stuck
Yeah.
up girl. And there's some scenes that is just, yo, you're so cringe right now the way you're doing your face. Whatever you're doing with your face, it's so cringe. I don't like it. Danny's dad, when he told her to go in the tree and hide, that was a terrible line, a horrible line. Danny's acting was terrible too. Like, it wasn't so good. The only two people that I liked was Dr. Reyes and Kentucky, or Sam. That's it. That's the only
Sam.
two people that I liked their acting. Sam's accent, you mentioned his accent was so good.
yeah, he did well because when you listen to him in Stranger Things, he doesn't have it.
No.
It would have fooled me greatly.
Yeah, right. And then Magic's accent, which you said was Russian.
Yeah, somewhere up there.
Yes, somewhere in Eastern Europe, but her accent goes in and out. Like,
Yeah.
goes American accent to Russian accent, American accent to Russian accent, and then some of the errors in the movie, like what I said earlier. Danny tried to escape and she hit the wall, fell, or hit the wall, bounced and fell, and then got up and then reached.
it was
and
just right there.
it was just right there. So some of those are like,
Another one that bugged me was not necessarily bugged me. It's just that I didn't get it.
mm-hmm.
The laundry room. I get it that he was there. I mean, it fell right back into his past, but I didn't get with the hand that was at the
Laundry room. Wait, who's this?
Sam.
Oh, they showed his fear.
Yeah, they showed us here. Basically,
So when we're watching this movie was a drag. I'm sorry. There's some. I fell asleep solid 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I didn't, because I don't remember Sam's fear. I was actually gonna mention that the only person that we didn't see the fear is Sam. So tell me what happened.
so in Sam's fear, it was that it led him into a mine where he mentioned in the beginning that
he killed a lot of people. Yeah.
Well, he left school because he was a
Mhm.
bright kid, or someone was giving a background of Sam that he left school. He was a bright kid, but he left school to help his dad, so he was working in the mines. and I guess that's where his abilities
Showed up.
I mean, it didn't really explain everything. We can only assume because based off his ability being vibration or explosion or in some way, and all the people that, because he then explained that he killed people in the mine. He killed his dad and some of his team, and I'm assuming it collapsed.
Interesting.
Yeah, but that was his fear. His fear was that he couldn't get rid of the guilt or the ghost that he thinks it's haunting him. So I guess it was just really guilt that he hasn't forgiven himself from that.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was
you
his
know
fear.
one thing that I also it didn't make sense to me why they did that is the like there's no reason for them to do it like that. Like I guess I get it why, but no, I guess I get it the idea of doing it, but the why is, to me, bugs me because they emphasize it, they showed it like this is the thing, this is what's happening, but there's no explanation why. It's so towards the last scene when Dr. Reyes was covering them with the shield, right?
Yes.
The yellow whatever shield, Sam, his hand was out. One of his
I saw that.
Yeah, one of his hands is
cast.
out.
It
So
was his cast.
yeah, it was his cast. So I was like, so what they could have done is cover the shield over his hand and not the hand stick out. I thought he would do something with his hand. That's why his hand was out.
It just didn't
You know what
make
I mean?
sense.
Like, okay, so I get it. Like, I get why his hand will be out because you could do it, but why?
That same expression that you had towards that scene was the same scene for him when before it actually, it was the before. I think it's more of after. I get before. So what happened before? He heard the sound of the something going on in the laundry machine. So he was walking closer to it. I get it. So I guess in a dark little laundry machine, an image of a dark cave.
Yeah.
But it was the after scene. The after scene, I felt that's more towards Magma Boy. So long story short, what happened is that when he finally came out of the dream or the fear, the nightmare basically, the hand came out on the laundry and exploded, like gave him a fire blast out, like it pushed him back. But I just didn't get why the fire explosion or that scene. I didn't get it. I mean, I get they're trying to make it intense, but it doesn't seem relevant to the whole scene of him crashing the mines and so forth. Anyway, that's just me, how I felt about that scene.
That's interesting. Yeah. So there's some unnecessary scenes in there that if you're a movie watcher, if you like watching movies and you like paying attention to details, you will ask yourself, like, things that happened with Sam with the hands, like there's got to be a purpose for them to leave part of his hand out of the protect shield.
I just thought it was goofy.
Yeah.
Just having that hand sticking out.
Right? Like, you made the kid struggle. Like, he shouldn't have struggled. I mean, he was struggling already breathing. You know what I mean? Like, now you have his hand sticking out, struggling more. But anyway, let's talk about their abilities.
Okay. Yeah.
So we know Danny's ability. We figure out her ability. We can talk about more what's entailed in that ability. We can talk about that later more. But let's go on with the rest of them, including the teacher. So the teacher was
yeah. Apparently she was. I didn't expect that. I didn't know that she was a mutant herself.
Yep, she has shield. Who do I know that has that ability? Oh, the Incredibles. The daughter.
The daughter is like a knockoff or a representation of Invisible Girl from Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but Invisible Girl doesn't have that.
She does.
The shield?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
She's able to. She learned to use her invisibility, also to expand. Exactly, just like the daughter in Incredibles. She can. I mean, she can make herself invisible and also use her invisibility power to use a force field.
Interesting.
Yeah. Just go back and watch some of those scenes in both all three crappy Fantastic Four movies. You'll see she has the ability of shielding.
I don't get that.
Why an invisible person has ability to shield?
Yeah, because so in the Incredibles it makes sense because she's what's her name? It makes sense if you get her name. Violet.
Violet.
Her name is Violet. It's because the ultraviolet ray.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. So maybe it's not necessarily putting her invisible. It's some kind of field that affects the light from blocking, making her seem invisible.
So you know why Violet is invisible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It makes sense in my head, but I don't know how to explain it.
So she's only invisible in humans' naked eye because we can't see ultraviolet ray.
Oh, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? That's it. That's about it. So if anybody can see ultraviolet ray, you can see her. Yep.
That makes sense.
Ultraviolet ray and gamma ray, we can't see it with our own naked eye. So that's the only reason why she's invisible. So she got that ability. Now, can she put the shield around her? I assume so, right?
Well, yeah, if she can put them on them, she could put that on
Yeah, I
herself.
wonder why she didn't put it on her when she got attacked by the bear.
She panicked maybe, or maybe her powers limited. Well, no, she was able to shield 5.
Yeah, and she can able to shield the whole facilities, like the whole place. Like she's a powerful mutant.
Yeah, her death doesn't make sense.
Huh?
Her death doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, maybe she's already dragging out her power of shielding the whole thing, plus putting 5 down. Or then again, she was just dying.
She had time though. She had time to at least release them from their shield and then put it on her. I don't know. But I mean, and you're probably watching this like, oh, that's what the director wants. Yeah, we get that. We totally get that. But why? Like,
yeah, like I said, this movie wasn't all so great, but then I personally like how they approach the whole mutant sense. It's not your typical superhero because it's not a superhero movie. It's more just kids trying to get out with extra abilities.
Yeah. You know what the movie reminds me? It reminds me of Promised Neverland. It's exactly just like Promised Neverland.
I know. I've seen. Oh, okay. I remember. Yes, it does. It does. Because you said movie.
Show. Well, they will release a movie, so it
eventually
quantifies a movie.
They're still also going on with the manga, but anyway, he's right. It reminds you a big time of
Promised Neverland with super abilities.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So and then Rain.
She's
not a werewolf, but a wolf. She can transmorph. It's like animagus. I think that's what they call animagus in Harry Potter, where they can turn to an animal. But for her, she can turn to a partial animal too, not just full, not just human and then full animal.
Yeah, she can
go partial.
Have some of the traits like her hands would be claws, or her teeth and her eyes
and sense of smell and all that. So she got that. That was an easy one.
But what's the proper word for it? Because they made a book back in the days. They call it Animorphs, well, I know she's more for I don't know the word for it.
There's a word for it.
But anyway,
there's no. There's a word for it. Mutants.
Anyways, she turns to a wolf. So, what's another one?
A wolf. And then the fire guy.
I don't know. What do you describe him? He has the ability of fire, but he reminds me of a volcano, like a lava.
Yeah, but he can also throw fire. So he's a lava that can throw fire. But I think you're right about the magma, because the dark skin and then the red outline, it reminds you of magma. Maybe
he could be like the Human Torch, but then his suit or his armor is the magma when it's cooled off. Because the only time he brought that armor out when he was fighting the bear, and it makes sense to me.
No, not just that. It's also when he was washing dishes, and then the creature held his shoulder, and then he shot him, and then his hand turned black, and that's when you told me that it reminds me of magma.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then when he was hitting the force field too. Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, I guess I'm wrong. It's just he reminds me of magma. He's very different from the Human Torch.
You're very different from Human Torch. Yeah. I don't think he can be able to fly though.
No, I mean I guarantee he could if he learned how his abilities a lot more. Because, as I like how Dr. Reyes explained human abilities, how she or human abilities, mutant abilities. You okay there?
Yeah.
She compared it to, I don't know if you've seen that scene. I think it was in that 5-minute scene. No, I think you saw it. Basically, she compared it to a snake, a baby snake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, so that the young baby snake is more dangerous or more uh, potent
Mm-hmm.
than the adult because the adults know how to control it versus the baby.
You know what that reminds me?
What?
My Hero Academia.
So basically, these kids
Yeah.
who just gone into puberty of mutation.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what happened with was it the fourth season? The girl who can, the girl with the horn.
Yes. Oh,
yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, I told you, My Hero Academia.
That was a lot more cooler.
Yeah, that's a lot more cooler. And also, that's what happened to Midoriya when he first got that ability. Remember, he just started kicking, and he didn't know that that's how powerful he is. That's why he like broke all his bones.
I really want to watch that again.
So
the animations are great.
So yeah, you're right. Young snakes are more dangerous than the adult snake because they don't know how much poison and venom they're gonna release.
Correct.
Because they're still young. So I don't necessarily know his ability. I know he has something to do with fire. Then with Sam, you mentioned that it's vibration. I think it is vibration. I think it is because he did it. The only reason why I agreed that is vibration because when he tossed the charcoal, there's a thing that came out of his hand, like that purple thing. So that means he vibrated it so he can toss it farther. You know what I mean? Because I thought it will be like an explosion. You know what I mean? Like Bakugo in My Hero Academy. I thought he could just explode himself out of that, but it's not.
I see. Yeah. His ability is kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it has to be something with vibration. But then at the same time, it's like, how can you vibrate yourself to fly?
No, because he jumped.
Oh, okay. I get that. Like like the Hulk version of hulking, jumping. But I'm talking about the scene where he was trying to train.
Yeah, I know. So he strapped himself, right?
Yeah.
So he jumped, and the reason why he's bouncing around because his body is hooked into a big stone. So it's like basically like it's like if you
like a tether ball in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's like flying all over the place.
I see. So he jumped so not high, but he jumped so fast
and hard that
it's just spinning around. And there was a scene where he came down, crashed, and then right back up.
Yep.
Unless that was his moment of just jumping back up in the air.
Or it's like his whole body's vibrating at that time because it's all purple. You know what I mean? So when he hits the ground, it's still vibrating. The only thing is, I want those chains because those chains didn't break.
I know, right? They were crazy.
Yeah.
Like he went through. I guess you can't say he went through the walls, but you know how he was, his vibration even moved him faster. I don't know how. Like he was like Flash at the moment when he cut through.
Yeah.
That scene. Who are they? Slenderman.
Yeah. So that ability, and then we talked about the Dr. Reyes, her ability, the force field, and then Magic, Anya Joy Taylor. We do not know her ability.
Yeah.
Like we have no idea. So if you know her ability, let us know.
Right.
It's probably I know it's a quick Google because all of this is part of the Marvel universe. So it's probably a quick Google on her ability. It's probably like multiple abilities because there's some heroes that have multiple abilities, not just one.
Do you think it was intentional not to explain too much of their abilities in this movie?
My thing is, I don't really like. It didn't bother me that I didn't know her ability. I much rather be in this situation where I saw the ability, but try to figure out what kind of ability it is, than them saying, "Oh, this is your ability," and not show it.
Because at first in the beginning, I thought she had the ability to teleport.
Yeah.
But then again, her ability was moving from one, as we learned later, moving from one dimension to another. Not necessarily teleportation.
Like she's going to this dimension and then show up in a different area of the location.
Exactly.
But how come she didn't? Like that force field doesn't go all the way in her secret place. Why didn't she just escape?
I think that's all it only work wherever she knows, probably.
Probably.
I mean, because she didn't even know where she was at when she was taken in by Slenderman.
Mm-hmm. I guess you're right. I don't know. Like I don't know. Because there's got to be like a.
Because like in Black Clover, Finral, that's his name. It's Yami's transportation.
I love that your explanation of transport or teleportation was Black Clover, but not Dragon Ball Z.
Because I guess you're right. Because Goku,
instant transmission is basically the same thing.
Yeah, because you need to know where you're at or been there.
Yeah. For you to be able to go there.
But
once you've been there, you can do your instant transmission. Or with Finral. Finral?
Yeah, Finral.
It will be a quick.
Yeah, because like at one point they were trying to go to the Heart Kingdom in the manga, but they never been there. Or Finral never been there, so he had to go there first.
Right.
And then now he knows where it is. He can open a door going back and forth.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this
overall,
this podcast is not just HBO Max. This is also anime and manga
and other sources from other movies.
Yes, from other movies. Because we're just like that. Because Waka and I love movies, as you can tell. We love movies. We just, at least for me, I have to be in the mood to rewatch movies, or I guess even watch movies.
Did you rewatch this?
No. When I'm talking about like the Marvel Universe. Remember, we wanted to rewatch it, but I have to be in a certain mood to watch. So I have problem rewatching movies.
All right, so this guy needs to be moody to watch a movie. I simply like to watch a movie. Yes. And because of this guy, he ruined my whole life of investing in a movie. Now I have to criticize the movie. Like, I can't because
I can guarantee you, if I bet on this like $100. I don't have a lot of money. Let's be realistic. $100. I'll bet $100 that if I didn't influence him the way you watch movies, he would have enjoyed New Mutant. Like, enjoyed it so much.
I would have enjoyed just watching the moments. Like,
and he wouldn't have noticed. He wouldn't have noticed. He would have, but he will just shrug it off. Sam's hand out of the force field. He'd probably like, oh, why is that out? Probably part of the movie. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. I would have thought like that. I would have just enjoyed like the whole intensity, the storyline, where it's going, and all this and all that. But now I have to connect the dots and lines.
But so we love watching movies. We love criticizing movies, and like what I said, we just like finding details on every movies and what's going on, and things like that. Like, you find explanation for certain things. So yeah, and you're probably thinking it's like. So when we watch movies, like I said, we watch a lot of movies, and certain characters, we try to connect them. Where have I seen this person? Like, oh, Anya J. Taylor, yeah, she's from Queen's Gambit. She's also from this movie, and then Sam, oh, he's from and things like that. So we just like doing that.
Yeah, and he proved me wrong today because I thought one of the characters there was from Twilight, and apparently she's not. She just looks like her.
Yeah, because he thinks all white people look the same.
No, that's racist, man. I didn't go that far. Whatever.
But anyway, so we are the problem is of me being critical with movies, and I think even a lot of people that you don't have to be critical with movies. We do not like I don't like when people talk in movies.
Yeah, I learned to shut up. I mean, normally I don't talk in a movie. Because I know that the movie will answer my question.
Right.
But I guess I'm just interacting at the moment. It's like, why the hell are you doing that? Don't do that. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But normally
I don't like that.
Yeah, normally I don't really. I guess if we were in the theater with the lights off and just the screen, I would have never said anything.
You were just focused. Because there are some people like Courtney's the same thing. Like, we're watching the same movie and you're asking me the same thing. Like, we both don't know. We're watching the same scene. I haven't seen this movie. You haven't seen this movie. Just sit. Relax, watch.
Sometimes my questions are just not really a legitimate question.
Yeah,
they're more of an expression.
You are, because you're trying to make sense of the movie.
I do sometimes try to make sense of the movie,
and then I always have to remind him, like, bro, this is a Marvel movie. He's a superhero. Are you gonna question why he can fly?
Yeah.
So,
anyways,
okay.
So that was what's her name? Magic.
Uh-huh.
Her ability. Again, we're still trying to figure because her armor coming out from the right hand, and with that sword that looks like a samurai sword just lit up, and her little imagination friend, the dragon,
It turned to a real dragon.
that was a little pet.
Yeah. Puppet. Yeah.
Puppet. I don't know. I think.
And then her eyes turn blue.
So part of me thinks it's her imagination that becomes a reality, similar to Danny's, where she absorbs people's fear, bringing it to reality. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think that's solely her ability, just
Because
her arm turning to metal.
She She briefly explained about that other place called Limbo.
Yeah.
It was at first just a place to hide, till it became an actual place to her. I don't know. I guess it was.
No, it became an actual place to her because she's always there. Like she never left. She was just there, and that became her reality.
Oh.
Yeah, that became her reality. That makes this place a limbo. So we don't know her ability. Like
it's not really clear.
Now I'm just satisfied to think that it's a combination of a lot of abilities. She got an ability where she can go to the limbo or the other dimension and teleport to other place. And she also has a metal arm that can create a metal sword, and that metal sword can have a blue light.
Like a knockoff of Star Wars
lightsaber. Yeah. Yep. And then she got the blue eyes. So she's like a combination of different kind of ability.
And don't forget her little pet.
Yeah. Her little pet.
Yeah. Part of me thinks like she's a very powerful enemy or character there, but then again you have
so now you got Danny.
Yeah, Danny.
Danny can be and we talked about this while we were watching the movie. Danny can be a very overpowered ability if she can control it.
Correct.
But I assume the limitations for her ability. So if you don't know, and you probably don't understand, I don't know if you don't, her abilities, like what Waka said, she can reanimate any fears and make it to reality.
Right.
Like make it to reality. So if you're scared of and times two it, not just make it reality and happen there, you will make it ridiculously terrible and fearful. So it's like if you're scared of snake, it's not just one snake that will show up. It might be a million snakes, or a big snake that you're gonna.
And it's not a hallucination. It's an actual.
It's real thing. Like they can hurt you and they can even kill you.
So can you say that her? No, it's not. I was gonna say compare her with Scarlet Witch.
On what part?
Because you know how she animated her two twin sons, but then the moment her world corrupted, they were disappearing.
Collapse. Yeah, well, that's because of the stone. That's because of her. That's because of the dome. That's about it.
That's
when
true.
she's out of the dome, she can't do it because she doesn't have a reality stone.
Yeah, versus her,
she can do it wherever. But I think the limitation for her is she can't create anybody's fear. Like that person has to be around her to create that fear.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
It has to be like a certain area or a certain radius in her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Cause she saw. She was with what's her name? And Dr. Reyes most of the time, but not a single fear came out other than just a memory.
Yeah, that's the weird part. Like, because I think Dr. Reyes doesn't have any fear.
That's crazy.
Like I'm pretty sure she didn't have any fear because every time, because those fear only shows up when she's tensed up. Remember when she gets injected, all those fears keep showing up to everybody except for Sam. Like Sam only happened one time,
right?
And then Magic happened twice.
Everyone had their moment.
Yeah, but Magic happened twice though.
Oh yes, Magic happened. Yeah. It did happen twice.
Yeah, and then Rain only happened once, and same thing with
Fireboy.
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Freaking, I have no idea.
We got all their names except for Fireboy.
So, but with her ability, okay, so it can be with Danny if she use it for her, and create her own fear, and not be scared of it. But by then it won't be called fear. Like for example, if her fear is that big bear, right? The bear monster, the snow bear, and use it against her enemy, and control it. By then, it won't be a fear, right?
Maybe it's just that she didn't know how to control it, and
Mm-hmm.
all her life, when she was a kid and growing up, she's just pretty much a scaredy cat, and that little bear helped her, overcome her little scaredy cat uh, character.
Uh huh.
Um, that her actual ability, um, is basically animating, probably a memory
Mm-hmm.
or someone that may have meant something, or that meant, whether good or bad. If she knew, like you said, if she knew how to control it, I get there's so many ways I can think of that could.
No,
She
the control part is not controlling her own fear. Because as soon as she controls her own fear, it will not be a fear anymore, and then it will disappear.
Yeah, that's what it hit
You
me.
know
It's
what I mean?
like maybe it's not necessarily.
So it will be overpowered if she can control other people's fear. So
Exactly.
if you have a fear of a lion, it will show up, and you can control that lion to attack everybody. You know what I mean? Because at this time, there's no control. Like, she can't control those people with the Slenderman. She can control any of them. They
She basically just
tried to kill her.
well, that's true, because basically her ability is just, I guess she's just releasing her powers out, and those who she animated became their own existence. They had their own reason, that they were own person.
Yeah, yeah. And
Oh, man,
her
that's
ability
crazy.
was already strong because she can reanimate multiple fears.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, multiple fears at the same time, not just one at a time.
Yeah, you had
Because when the fear of rain, when that fear happened, it was the same time when magic fears happened.
it was magic. Yeah, you're right. It was magic and
'Cause
rain.
it
Because I
was-
was thinking of also
yeah.
in the pool, but that pool scene happened when
Mm-hmm.
they were the romance scene and those two in the pool.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then magic got. They put her. Dr. Reyes put her in the room, and then the door swung open, and you see the marking of the drawing of the smiley
Oh.
face on the wall,
That was creepy.
and then
that
Rain
was
got
good.
attacked by that priest and got marked.
Yeah, that's
So-
right. That's right.
So she can. My point is, she can create multiple. She can do her fear ability.
I
you know,
wonder
two
if
or more
it's
at the same time.
just towards fear, because I can see that if she was able to control it and the ability to animate anything, it could be very scary. I mean, what I
Animate
mean, like,
anything.
yeah, like say that she was able to creep because she saw in order way most of them to animate some of their fears, she just somehow connected them and saw a bit of their past or so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Like she may have not seen Rain's past, but she learned it from Rain about her past,
Mm-hmm.
and thus, I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of her ability, but the long story short, if she was able to control other people's
Well,
fears,
with the fire guy, it's not necessarily his past. It's just so happened that the specific fear that he has, it's connected to the past. You know what I mean? And the same thing. I think it's the same thing with magic.
yeah, and also Rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of these guys it's their past.
I guess all of them are, because it's that's your fear. It's connected to your past.
I really think it's just, yeah. I don't know how to explain it. It makes sense in my head, but if I bring it out in words, it just sounds like gibberish.
Because it's your deepest secret, deepest fear.
Mm,
But another thing that makes her ability powerful, she doesn't have to know that fear.
yeah,
Because
yeah, that's true.
yeah, nobody shared their fears to her, and they just showed up. Not even Rain. We didn't even know that marking on the back of her, on her back when she was taking a shower. That's the only time we found out.
That is true. Even the Slenderman one.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
even with Sam. Sam mentioned about he killed people, but it wasn't mentioned how or if that was his fear. He just said he killed a lot of people.
It's like a spell that just went out and then
Yeah.
it just woke
So
up to
they
their
don't
fear.
they don't have, like, she doesn't have to touch him. She doesn't have to have a conversation with him.
You just got to be around her.
You just got to be around her, and then when she released that ability, your deepest fear will show up.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much her ability. I'm not gonna say anything further.
Yeah. So if Danny's around us, what will be the image or reality appear around?
That's a good
you?
one. I think I'm still scared of spiders.
A big spider.
A big old spider. Like
Mm.
I kid you not. One of the movies, spider movie was called Eight-Legged Freaks. I don't know if you've seen
Oh,
that.
I love that movie.
I enjoyed the movie too, but man, every time there was like a spider jumping here and there, my
Yeah.
body was just shaking.
I
And like,
love that
well,
movie.
not shaking, but it's just like goosebumps here. It's like, that's a
Dude,
big ass spider.
that's a very funny movie. It's
Oh, it
a
was
very
good.
funny movie. Yeah.
What
I
happened
think
to
I
that
watched.
actor?
I have no idea. I watched that movie multiple times because what happened. The funny story about that movie. So we have rental place in the Philippines, right? Sometimes my parents, when they go, they don't know what to rent. They just want to rent movies so we can watch it at home, VHS. So like he will ask the people that's working. He said, "Hey, are there any recommended movies? You know, any movies that you can recommend?" And they will ask what kind of movies you like, and they're like, "Oh, I like funny movies, or things like that, or romantic movies." And they suggested Eight-Legged Freaks. I was like, "Oh," and it was a good movie. It was awesome.
It was good.
And then one time, my dad went and did the same thing. Hey, what movie can you recommend? And I don't know if the guy was just having a bad day, or he picked up the wrong one, or it got switched because someone just returned it and then
And
gave it to my
It was
dad. It was 13 Ghosts.
Oh, that one's a good movie too.
It was a great movie, but I was 12. And we were so happy, Dandy sitting down, and then we were watching it, and like I asked my dad, so he said this is a comedy? Yeah, he said it's a comedy movie. So we're watching it. We're 10 minutes in. Are you sure this is a comedy? He's like, yeah. So we give it like a benefit of a doubt. It's like, oh, it's not really just the first part of it, and it will be funny. We're in like half an hour in. It's like, yo, I think this is not a comedy movie. I don't think it is. So
but it was a great movie.
yeah, but we finished
I
it.
remembered it.
Yeah, so
The house was trippy. It was
it's a mirror glass house. Yeah,
no, that the movie. There's a glass house. Oh, was it a glass house?
it is a glass house.
Because there's
yeah.
a movie called Glass House.
I know. Yeah.
Because I thought the house was more like a puzzle. Wasn't the house a puzzle?
No, it's a glass house, and then they certain times it opens,
Oh wow.
and then the ghost will.
Oh, that's right. It is a
yeah.
glass house. Okay.
It's a glass house. You know why I remember it's a glass house? Because the realtor who brought them there got cut half this way because the door closed.
That's funny.
Okay, so for me, I think it's more of a. I just realized it's last night when I grabbed my car on the side of the road to repark it, the driveway, and I used to have a fear of the dark, like being alone in the dark, right? And then I realized I don't have a fear of being alone in the dark. I have a fear of someone might be watching me while I'm alone in the dark.
That makes more sense.
You know what I mean? Like if you put me in a room and it's dark and I know nobody's in there, I'll be fine. Like if you put me in my room and we turn off the light, I'm like, oh, I'll be fine. But if you put me in a place where I have no idea what it is and it's dark and I can feel like someone's watching me, that's what I freak out.
If you're living in a sketchy place like this, then I get you why you'd be, checking your back.
Yeah. No, because it's more of the park across from us. Because you don't know that place, like it's so hollow that it's like.
Bro, you know what? Your home just reminds me of a horror movie.
Why?
The placement of your home.
Why?
Here's the house, and there's a park up front, and the view from looking at the house. I mean, from the park. It's just, I just think there's like, it just reminds me of a horror movie that there'll be like some creep there just looking and then disappear and then creeps out in the forest because you have a little mini forest there, and anything could happen. There's no.
The only difference is we're in the middle of the city.
That's true, and with a lot of space in this area that you live in.
Yeah, we're in the middle of the city. Like as soon as you hit anywhere,
Yeah, you're
anywhere,
just in
like,
there.
oh, that's it. A ton of people already.
Yeah,
cars
that's
everywhere.
true.
Yeah. But I don't know how would she reanimate that fear in reality. Maybe she will put me in a dark place and then there's ice everywhere. Like
what I think,
they start killing me. I don't know.
I'm trying to really think about fear. I mean, I get why she will animate spiders because they're legit.
Mm-hmm.
But for some, I think it has to occur in your life though, because most of the fears that happen in these guys' life is something that occurred.
Okay, I don't know. So I thought that's the only type of fear. What other type of fear are you thinking about?
The things that you've seen and you make it up in your mind. Like it
Yeah,
never happened to you. Like say, what if I got, those what ifs people that just, what if I was in a car accident? What if I was, they make up these things in their
Yeah,
head.
but that would be
Like
that would not
paranoid.
be. Yeah, but yeah, I know that would not be fear by then. It would be paranoia or anxiety.
Right. But what are they? Okay, those who are paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
What are they really afraid of then?
Nothing. It's paranoia. So it's not the deepest fear.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is that the fears from these guys, it had to occur.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it has to be something that had a physical form, I guess. Because like thinking of going back to your sort of fear.
Because even with that, even the paranoia, it will happen still. I think it's still I'm gonna take back what I said. I think it's still a form of fear because it's still an experience. The fact that you've known about that thing is an experience for you to have that kind of fear. You know what I mean?
Known as if it actually happened in you.
Yeah, like no, not exact necessarily happened, but the idea of the when you find out that there's such a thing like that, it's an experience for you to have to build the certain fear or paranoia. You know what I mean? Like for example, there's a creature in Japan or somewhere else that I don't know the figure, right? And it's scary looking or whatever figure they are, and some people are scared of it, but I don't have no idea what it is. And Danny showed it in front of me, reanimated it. I won't be afraid because I have no idea what that is.
Maybe it's a silhouette.
Yeah, but still, like I have no idea what that is.
But would that freak you out?
Huh?
Would that freak you out?
No.
I mean, because it has to be in a setting of everything. None of these.
Yeah, but if you put it in a dark place where I can be scared, I'm like, oh, I'm scared now because of the dark place. You know what I mean? But if you just show it in the daylight and it's right there, right in front of me, whatever figure it is, like I can't recognize the figure. I don't know what it is, and it doesn't have a scary look in.
Then it has to be like Sam's. It has to be like Sam's fear because again, you missed it.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is that it was similar to also Sam, but in the second time it happened, she actually witnessed it this time. Wait, do you think it's her or her friend?
Which friend? Rain?
Yeah, because the way she, when when Magic saw like in her point of view of the kid, I thought it was her, but then at the same time, don't do that to her. She was like it was as if it was someone else.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, that was Magic.
Okay, so she was okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, what I was trying to say is that you have your fear to appear or to happen has to be like Sam's, because what Sam's fear was taken to a different world. Oh, not Sam.
Magic.
I guess like Magic too, because that in the scene in the prison where they were both sent to sanitary.
Mm-hmm.
Is it sanitary? Anyway. While she's
I know what you're talking about. Like when she opened her own room, there was a kid on the bed, right? And then the kid disappeared.
That's the second time that happened. I'm referring to the first time it happened.
The first time it happened with Magic is when she attacked Danny, and then they went to Dimension, and then Danny got a mask of the smiley face.
Oh, then you really missed that part. So what happened? Where they were fighting. I guess you missed the part where they were chilling in some kind of youth room.
No, I've seen that one.
And she protected Danny from getting struck by a sword, right?
Yeah. Isn't that the first time she showed her ability? Magic?
Hold on. No. No. Her first time was actually when she was, how Danny came into the room, and then here comes Magic trying to be all the bully again, and then Danny stood up to her and telling her, "I'm not afraid of you." Fighting,
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that. That's right.
So, but what I'm saying is that when they went to when basically the detention room wherever Ray had, sent them. She was cuddled in her room while Magic was in the other room, but Magic somehow entered to her child form and then saw her dream in that reality. But Sam had the same thing. So what happened to Sam was when he went to the laundromat, touched the door, he was transferred to the cave.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I'm trying to get to is that in order for you to see your
fear,
she had to have sent you to a situation where it sets you up.
Yeah, but like I said, if you have no idea what that kind of fear is, you won't show up.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm answering your first initial question. That's redundant. Your initial question that you have to experience the fear for it to show up.
Okay, then you're right.
No, you don't have to.
Exactly.
Like you can have a paranoia about let's say a fear of drowning, but you've never experienced drowning. You just know people that drowned and you're scared of it now. So you don't have to experience it. You just know, just the idea of knowing.
Oh, I see.
Just
because
the idea of
knowing,
being afraid. Yeah.
she can make it a reality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's in a sense that will be an experience.
What I was trying to bring up was you when you said that if she were to bring someone that supposedly would be someone in the dark looking at you on broad daylight, I was like, what the hell is that? Mm-hmm. But what I'm trying to say that your situation has to occur in the same as Sam and Magic, where her fear ability will take you into a set, like a situation where your fear comes to life.
I mean, she can't bring new fears in you.
No, what I mean, she has to put you into your nightmare.
Well, yeah, isn't that the whole sense?
Well, what I'm saying because you said you have a fear of someone looking at you in the dark.
Yeah.
But you don't know who that person is.
Yeah.
But say that it was a silhouette. But if you were to see a silhouette of the person that's looking at you in the dark in broad daylight, you wouldn't be freaked out. What I'm trying to say is that she has...
Oh, okay. So you're putting two different explanations in here. So what I said, the reason why I said about the creature in the broad daylight is, let's say there's a creature in Japan that I have no idea with, right? But people are scared of that creature, whatever that looking is. You have to set up that creature in a dark place where I'm scared for me to be scared of that creature.
Yes.
But if you put that creature in a broad daylight and it's just normal thing and it's right there, I'd be like, why do you look like that? Because I have no idea. I've never experienced. I've never heard about this creature, so I won't have any fear of this creature. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if let's say I had a conversation with someone and they told me about this creature and this creature is this and that, and I suddenly have a fear of this creature. Now, if you put that creature in the broad daylight and I recognized it, I'll have a fear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'll be scared.
Yeah, her ability can be...
because she can't make new fear.
That's right. It has to be, like I said, it has to be experienced or existing. But then you made the point where you don't need to experience per se the situation. But the fact that you know it and you have a fear of it, it may and may not happen. She could probably use that to create that fear to be real.
Right, yeah. Like if you're scared of Voldemort, like your deepest secret fear is Voldemort, she will appear it. And you've never encountered Voldemort, apparently. You know what I mean?
Right. She'll pull someone from the book out.
Yeah. You know what will counter that ability is what will counter that her ability will be first if you know her fear and be scared of it. So now it's not just you fighting it. She will be fighting it.
Oh, her knowing her fear. Okay,
you know what I mean? Like if you have that ability and you're gonna use it against me, I would know. I need to know your deepest fear, and then be really really afraid of it.
That's right. You need to really understand. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It could be used against you.
Yeah, and then I will use it against both of us. So now I'm not just fighting it. You're fighting it too.
If you want this to end, you better stop this.
Otherwise,
we're both gonna die.
Yeah, you're gonna die too.
Well, actually, that whole scene did happen, but it wasn't her other people's fear. It was her own fear. Towards the end of the movie, your concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, if you want to fight her, that would be to fight her. Or second is not to have any fears.
Mm.
That would be the only two ways you can defeat her. Because if once she can be able to control that fear, she can, like, you can defeat all the Slenderman, and then she can reappear it. Now you keep fighting it over and over and over again.
It's an endless nightmare.
Yeah. So, but if you overcome your fear and don't have any fear anymore, like what she did to that big bear, then you won't be fighting anything.
That's one.
You'll just be fighting her.
Demon bear, though.
That's
She really must have been scared of that, and it been scary her whole life so much she
Mhm.
thought of it so big.
See, my thought process, if I connect it to the whole movie, I think that bear, I don't think she's scared of that bear. I don't think that's her fear. I think her fear, because her dad explained that the bear, right? The bear feeds on your own fear. So she kept feeding that bear in her own explanation, her dad's explanation.
So whatever
feeding the bear.
So this is basically an animation of what she fed.
What she fed. So fear is the fuel,
the
bear, and she kept feeding it.
And it just became so big.
Yeah. So I don't think she's necessarily scared of the bear. This is just a reflection of, all
her fears.
Exactly. Feeding
that she built it up on.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what she was been scared since a kid. Then she's only how old? I think because they mentioned her age ish. But anyway, they're teens.
Or maybe she. That's just my assumption. Or maybe she's really scared of the bear.
I mean, it makes sense because I thought she would just be scared of the bear, but then I was like, why is the bear so big?
Okay, now that I think about it, when her dad died, the bear showed up because the bear killed her dad, right? Yeah. Whose fear is that? Is it hers?
It's really hers. I think it. Because remember, the dad woke her up from from a sleep. And in all the scenes in the beginning of the movie.
Oh, that's when her ability showed up.
Exactly.
Oh, I see. That's right. Because she was having a nightmare.
So I think the dad knew, and he just tried to pull her away from all that. But I guess her power is like so massive or extensive.
Because her dad, she said that she also lived in a dome that her dad built.
Oh no, it wasn't the dome.
A cage, or a cave.
No, it was supposed to. It was figurative. She's talking about the body being the.
That's right. Oh, that's right. Your body being your soul being the body.
Yeah.
Something bullcrap, but.
But yeah, the bear did come in the beginning. Of course, it didn't show, but the clues and the sound and the senses were all in when she was explaining about the bear and so forth. And part of me feels that the dad knew it was her, but I think he was trying to get her as far as she could to, I guess, to lower the sense of her power. I don't know. I mean,
the dad's acting was so ambiguous and so bad that I don't think so. That my take will be, I don't think he knows that it's from her,
because
I think because he believed about the bear fear, right? Because he's the one who told her. That's what he's thinking when he saw that creature. It's like, this is the snow bear monster fear that I was telling my kid about, and now it showed up.
And I really think it's just a thing that the dad made up just to help her fall asleep.
You think so?
Yeah, because remember, she said she struggles sleeping.
But you also have to remember, they're Native Americans.
Well, that's true. That's very true. They believe in a lot of spirits. Yeah, and bears is one of them.
And animals and nature and things like that. So.
I really think the dad knew it could have came from her. Well, because one, he told her the story about the demon bear. And two...
But that's kind of hard to understand, though, because how would he know?
Maybe it's just me hoping to believe there's a good father.
Right.
I don't know. But, I mean, and...
Because this is the first time, that will be the first time her ability showed up. He wouldn't have known.
True, yeah. You're right. He wouldn't have known. I mean, I just would assume he would figure it was his daughter, because that's a demon bear. And I told my daughter about a demon bear. And maybe I mean, it's a world of
you,
mutants.
I know you're trying to.
Oh,
I don't know.
It kind of helps of where the context is, at least, because this is already. You remember how Danny looked in the memory of Miss Reyes, Dr. Reyes, is at the timeline of Logan. What was the mutants doing during that time?
I don't know. They're probably hiding. If it's during the if you're talking about the timeline of Logan, yeah, they're probably hiding because people are trying to take him.
Yeah, I mean, like even Xavier's school fell apart. I mean, like the way he is.
Yeah.
And mutants are just all over the place. I mean, they have the government chasing down mutants. And
Right. So where are you getting with it?
What I'm getting is that maybe the dad knew it was her daughter. I mean, some kind of information should have went out.
So okay, so let me answer this one though. So you're trying to connect it by saying, I told my daughter about the
bear.
The bear. Now the bear showed up.
Is animated.
And then I said that they're Indians, they're Native Americans. So it's probably taught around their group.
I see what you mean.
You know
it could have been anyone then.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying.
It's a lesson. Because the thing is, you have to remember, this is the very first time it showed up.
You're right. Okay.
So
yeah, now
he wouldn't have any idea unless he got an ability to figure out what will be your mutant ability once you turn a certain age.
I really believe.
Or it could have happened before. Probably not the first time, but we're just assuming things.
Yeah. I mean, again, we're trying to make logic, but then again, if we're talking about these guys who are during Logan's time, whether he was alive or dead or living. That's redundant. I said alive or dead.
Oh wait, no, it's not during Logan's time.
Because those images was
because remember, the kids have a hope to go to X-Men, but X-Men is already gone during Logan's time.
Oh no, X-Men was already gone, but Xavier left because I guess it was due to OH.
No, it's totally abolished because he said, remember during Logan movie he killed all of them. Because he couldn't control his mind.
Exactly, that's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, so the whole thing is abolished. And then the kid said, "We're here to be healed, so we can go to X-Men."
So
and then
because
Danny,
they were following the comic books, right? Because that's where they got the assumption from. They went to this world following a comic book. You remember that?
Yeah, that in the Logan movie, yeah.
But yeah, but
remember, Danny when she realized what's going on, she said, they are not doing this so we can go to X-Men. They're doing this so we can be fighters, killers.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? So it's not during Logan's timeline. Like
so this is during when X-Men was still around.
Yeah, Essex probably already existed and already doing that for years. You know what I mean?
Essex, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. It's making sense now. It's just that I don't know why they used the images from Logan.
No. I'm saying it's probably no. That's not the same. I don't know if that's. I don't remember.
No, because there was a scene of where the kids were in.
Yeah. I don't think it was the same clip.
I think so.
Yeah, it looks familiar because they're all kids wearing white, suits.
No, because there was a scene on where I forgot. There was a scene and it just reminded me of Logan.
Yeah.
But then you might be right.
It was when the kid, the girl, was in it.
Yeah.
And they're showing all their pictures and the nurse who took her away from that place. Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds you of the place because it's probably the same thing, and they've probably been doing it for years.
You're right.
But that movie, based on what they said, it's not the same timeline as Logan.
Yeah, because of what they were saying. It's like they're probably trying to get us to X-Men or something like that.
Yeah. They're training us to be killers.
That's true. Okay, that makes sense. It makes total sense.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're very critical with every script.
You see what you did to me?
Every scripts and
I cannot enjoy a movie anymore if it's for a podcast.
It's true.
But I think.
Did you notice I'm not like this with Disney kids movie?
Oh, you mean like
if we're watching like Raya or Frozen, it's like, oh, okay. That's a kid's movie. But if you go to a bigger franchise, which is X-Men or Marvel or DC, now you guys are expending a lot of money for this. it has to make sense. Like if you tell me that you spent 200, 300 million for this franchise to happen, or for this not just the franchise, but for this movie to happen,
I,
and you have that, like Origins, X-Men Origins, man, that movie was terrible.
oh, where
So much
Wolverine
mistakes.
as Sabretooth, or so-called Sabretooth was
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and the wannabe Deadpool.
Yeah, Wade Wilson is so terrible. Like the CGI was crap.
Yeah, it
It's
was
so bad. So
it was really bad.
yeah, and now you're trying to make sense because everything has to be connected with everything. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
with the
Future Past
Avengers.
screwed that one up, in terms of timeline.
Oh yeah, it erased the whole thing.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it erased X-Men Last Stand and all that.
Yeah, it
It's
did.
like they're like, oh, we hated those movies.
So let's give it a chance
yeah.
to reset.
Yeah, let's delete it. I don't even care. Do you have anything else?
I'm trying to think. Why do you think they made the New Mutants, the movie? Do you think there's gonna be a sequel coming up, or are they gonna be a part of something?
So there's a rumor that they're doing Young Avengers for Disney. But when it comes to 20th Century Fox, when they were still just 20th Century Fox and not sold to Disney, they might be doing a young X-Men. You know what I mean?
I see.
Like a young X-Men movie.
Who owns AMC? Not the theater. There's a show. I mean, network, like CW.
I have no idea.
Because I'm not sure if it's AMC or
Talking about Walking Dead, AMC?
Yeah, I think that's where they aired it. If not, there's a show or a network that aired something that was X-Men related.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The Gifted.
Oh, I know The Gifted. Yeah.
So, I just want to know, did the network, did they just created their own thing that's outside of DC or Marvel?
AMC did?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember if it's AMC, but just for the sake of
other networks.
That network.
Well, Disney already owned Marvel, except for Sony stuff.
Yeah, because The Gifted came out even after Marvel was owned.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, how does that work? I mean, does Gifted, is it like a separate story outside of the Marvel? The Marvel line?
Yeah. Well, because Fantastic Four and X-Men supposed to be in Avengers, but they created their own. You know what I mean? That's why they're called Marvel Productions. Marvel, yeah. When they show the Marvel logo, they don't say Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Was that the same
Marvel.
way for what
DC?
CW did for DC?
Yes. Yep.
DC doesn't own them, but they made a contract with them, so they use
Yeah,
some
they
of the
sold them.
characters?
Yeah, they sold them characters. They sold them the part of it.
Oh, I see. Then
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. They did, because Marvel, with Marvel, they almost went bankrupt, so they started selling characters and things like that. That's why Universal Studios got a hold of Hulk. They still own Hulk. That's why we can't make another Hulk movie. And then
see.
Sony got Spider-Man and 20th Century Fox and things like that.
Oh,
Yep.
I see. So
And now-
so what Marvel owned or what Disney owned is not necessarily all the characters, but they just own the company.
Now Disney owned the company.
I mean, what I'm saying, they own the company Marvel Productions or Marvel Company,
Mhm.
but not necessarily everything that Marvel sold out.
So when they bought, yeah, you're right. But now they bought 20th Century Fox, so they got X-Men and
They got-
Fantastic Four. They bought.
Oh,
What
they
else
really
did
got Fantastic Four back?
Yeah, they're remaking Fantastic Four.
Again.
And then, what was the other one? They almost bought Sony
For what, Spider-Man?
for Spider-Man. They almost bought Spider-Man. I think 20th Century Fox bought a lot of this Marvel characters, because I think they also own the skeleton guy,
Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider. Yeah, they own Ghost Rider. That was the 20th Century Fox.
Oh.
Yep.
I didn't know that. How about
Yeah.
Blade? Who owned Blade?
20th Century Fox.
Mm.
Yeah. Wait, I think that was Sony. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what happened. So Marvel's not just Marvel now. Disney bought them, and now Disney's trying to buy back all of them. This is why this is why I get not upset, but I question people when they said, "Oh, Marvel's buying their superheroes back." Well, no, Disney is buying their superheroes back.
We might as well just say Disney. It's not Marvel anymore.
Yeah, same thing with Star Wars because Disney bought Star Wars.
I think it was. I guess you're right. They did buy it, but I think he made the option of selling it to Disney, wasn't it? Didn't Lucas?
Yeah, probably. But all we know is Disney owns it. They own PBS. They own a lot of things.
They do. Oh, they do own PBS.
They own PBS.
So who owns Freeform? Because I heard PBS was, they just renamed it to Freeform.
I don't know, but they own PBS because a lot of some of the shows that were in PBS are in Disney Plus.
How about PBS Kids?
Same thing, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Disney.
That goes with the movies and TV shows. And then I told Waka, I think, I wouldn't mind if HBO buys DC.
DC. I can see
most of DC though are Warner Brothers.
Oh, that's right, Warner Bros.
But Warner Bros. doesn't have any subscribe apps yet.
No, they're really. I guess they're really sticking to their old.
Just movies.
Where was the latest movies that they made?
Cause the Harley Quinn movie, Wonder Woman. That's Warner Brothers.
Oh, I guess you're right. I just haven't. Okay, I forgot they did that.
Yeah.
Anyways, about this movie, I don't have anything else. But I was just wondering why they made New Mutants. But I guess it's because Disney is planning to do, or a rumor is saying that they might do Young Marvel.
No, they did Mutants because you remember this was still owned by 20th Century Fox when they did this. I think 20th Century Fox was just want to release movies that's Marvel because it's hit. You know what I mean? Like people loves watching Marvel movies, so let's release a Marvel movie that people hasn't seen yet.
I see.
They were taking the risk because Disney took the risk when they released Guardians of the Galaxy because nobody really heard about. I've never heard about Guardians of the Galaxy when it released, but it worked out because it was really good. It was really funny.
I think it was the actors.
It was awesome. Yeah. But with this New Mutants, they also want to try to take the same risk. Like people doesn't know any of them, or didn't know any of them. But in my opinion, it didn't work out because it's crap.
Yeah.
It's not really good. There's some good, like I said, there were some good young, new actors in there. There are great actresses, but it's just no. I mean,
yeah, I think this whole movie, I felt like it was a.
How would you rate it from 1 to 10?
Yeah, I was already thinking about the rate.
1 being bad, terrible, horrible, the worst movie ever. To 10 as, oh man, this is the most amazing movie in the world, and I
won't.
I can't wait to rewatch it.
I won't deny I did enjoy the whole, some of the things, but I'm really leaning into probably between 3-4.
3 and 4, yeah, I'm around there too. It's not a highly recommended, especially for a Marvel movie. It's not a highly recommended movie.
Yeah, I mean, if Disney did it, it could have been better, because I felt like it was
probably.
It was too long of a short story.
Long of a short story, yeah. I told you they could have just removed a ton of them, and the movie still would have made sense.
Yeah. It would have been probably just an hour movie.
And it didn't end as a cliffhanger either. Like, it ended as just a movie. So a lot of movies, we know this, that a lot of movies will give you a cliffhanger, like a little budge ins, like, oh, we're gonna release a second one.
Yeah, there was nothing. It was like a happy ending, and just they were
the kind of thing, the cliffhanger thing is for them getting free, and then they're out.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's not an exciting thing. Like, the exciting part, I don't know, if one of the cliffhanger that you're gonna show, if they, let's say the higher ups showed up, you know what I mean?
Then there's definitely a sequel.
Yeah, you'll be like, oh yeah, there's gonna be a sequel, but not with this one. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
we're free.
it doesn't leave you like, is there gonna be another one?
Or yeah,
It was just straight happy ending.
A good one will be, and I know they already used it in one of the X-Men movies. If Doctor Xavier showed up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
that would have been a good one too.
But who would be? Because didn't he did the Logan movie as like his last X-Men movie?
You just forgot the conversation that we had 10 minutes ago.
I think I did.
Yeah, that it's not in the same timeline.
Oh no! As an actor.
Oh.
Because he there was a rumor that the actor playing Xavier said that would have been his last movie and done.
Yeah. I know, but I mean, they can always just recast it.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Who will be the next
I don't know.
recasted Xavier?
I don't know. But
Because he played that role really well.
That would be a good cliffhanger for the movie. So it's not it's not even recommendable movie to tell people. It's like when we watch the second Fantastic Four, and then they released the third recasted Fantastic Four.
Oh,
We're like, yeah, we're not gonna watch it. We're good. We're good. We saw the trailer. We saw what Doctor Doom looks like. We're good. We don't need to watch it. So it's the same thing with this New Mutants, which is a little disappointing because
I low-key expected more, but more
hoping.
fear. Because I was expecting a good scary movie. But
was
you know what?
hoping.
I was disappointed. They didn't show the scene where the hands were like stretching out. If you've seen some of their old trailers, you'll see that.
Okay.
I was disappointed.
All right. Well, Waka, what can people find you in the internet world?
You can find me in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, also LinkedIn, and I think that's pretty much it. And you can find me under Waka127.
TikTok.
And tickety talk. TikTok. Yeah, Waka127. WAKKA127.
And I'm Captain Bug. You guys can find me at all the social network that you can think of. All of them. No. Facebook, Instagram,
MySpace.
TikTok. I actually don't have MySpace. I have Friendster. As the Gum Fam Show. That's THE Gum Fam Show. You guys can also follow this. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and all the podcast platforms that you can think of. Just look for The Maximum Filipino Show. You guys can email us, themaximumfilipino@gmail.com. And you guys can also, if you want to, support us, patreon.com/TMFS show. That's patreon.com/TMFSHOW. If you enjoyed this podcast, please let us know. Comment down below. Tell your friends about us. It will be highly appreciated. And
yes.
I mean, we appreciate you guys being here. And then that's it for me, Walka, and the rest of the gang. We'll see you guys later.
Late.
Bye.
Correct.